maybe richer than others and so on. But when it comes to the Republic's foundation, we are equal. Now that equality cannot admit of power based on the accident of blood.
Right.
I mean, it's
but that's why we replace it. That's why we have adopted.
But you can make formal progress,
right?
But substantive progress lags behind. Okay. So
isn't that part of the problem that we have? That's an interesting thing. I'm just trying to think how our tradition and our history, the whole chieftaincy thing, is based on a certain authoritarianism. Then we go and adopt a system of democracy, which therefore suggests a lot less authoritarianism. Don't we have a bit of a conflict there?
No, there isn't. I mean, there isn't. Because in fact, I mean, there's a lot that you find in Ghanaian history which points that with a certain process of social change, there are some things that you cannot avoid. What
is the role of government, to say, or leadership in determining how people exercise a certain self-realization of power? Can political leadership contribute to that?
Immensely.
How?
Well, because it depends on the vision that leaders bring. It depends on how they understand the problems of society, the character of that society, and therefore what they see as the challenges they face in bringing about change. Okay, so they will approach it.
But leadership really is never really excited about reminding people of their power, is it?
Well, I mean, historically, leaders have been extremely important in galvanizing change. Right. The historical moment must be there.
But not a change of power relations that works against them.
No, well, I mean, you see, you change your power relations because you believe that you're on the side of the people. Okay? I'm not saying it in a purely opportunistic sense. Okay? So when Nkrumah broke with the UGCC, under pressure from the rank and file, as it were, the force was with them. From that day, the UGCC became a marginal political party. Yeah. You see? And
the balance of power changed.
Yeah, in the political sphere, the so-called veranda boys that people who didn't have anywhere to sleep. So
the people,
they moved.
But where must power reside?
Well, at the end, power must be structured. I mean, for it to be predictable in how it is used and so on. But I'm talking about how, at the end of the day, society is organized so that the majority of people feel that this is their country, this is their society, and they have a vested interest in the status quo, and they're not demoralized by it. I mean, if we look at what has happened in our post-colonial period, apart from the Nkrumah era, okay, where there was a concentrated attempt at pursuing some vision that would create a country, give opportunities to people, because creating opportunities is very important in dealing with the social and economic inequalities.
But you're saying apart from that period where that happened?
It happened, in a certain sense, the subsequent periods, particularly the past 15 or so years, has been a period of growing colonialism.
Are you in need of credible and relevant business information to make vital decisions? Or do you wish to reach Ghana's upmarket business and consumer segment with your product and services? Subscribe to and advertise in Business and Financial Times today, Africa's leading source of credible and relevant business information. For enquiries, contact 021-785-36627 or visit www.thebftonline.com.
Perfect mixes, perfect mixes. Gehok Distilleries, perfect mixes.
Mommy to have a dingo. Come into Castidingo. Come into Casoranto. Come into Bresoranto. Come into have a dingo. Come into Castidingo. Come into Casoranto. Come into Bresoranto.
Don't cross border to go mix.
Gehok Distilleries.
There will be beer. To go mix it.
Available in all shops and bars nationwide. Gehok Distilleries, home of quality products.
What do you mean by a period of colonialism after Nkrumah? Colonialism preceded Nkrumah.
Yeah, but I mean, I insist that on the moral of the British leaving, the character of the way our economy was inserted into the global economy did not change.
That is what you mean.
No.
When you say
the structure of relation in the society had not changed. The mindset of some fairly important sections of society about the country's place in the world and also social order within it had not changed. The challenge was how to move beyond this structure, not simply in terms of how people saw the world, but what actually was, so that the society offered greater opportunities to the growing majority, and also we had a country which was confident about its capacity to deliver to its people, and that these were a people also who could make choices for themselves.
And in Nkrumah's time?
Certainly, I mean, although the history has gone up and down, today there is no doubt that in terms of this country's history, the outstanding leader, the visionary leader, is Kwame Nkrumah.
Why
with
do
all
you
his
say-
faults and everything.
Indeed, but tell me, I'm quite keen. Reduce it to a basic thing. What makes you describe Nkrumah really as the only visionary leader this country has ever had?
Because he understood the importance of the inequalities between our country, between our continent, and the ex-colonial powers as very important for our being able to make progress.
And what did he
He
do about it?
understood, well, I mean, we can come to that. He understood the importance of creating opportunities for the broadest majority of the people within the country.
Isn't that what all
He
leaders
also
claim to do?
He also understood the importance of structural change of the economy for our ability to occupy a different place in the global economy.
The last government believed in all of that, didn't it?
Every government proclaims a commitment to the interests of the people.
Yeah.
Okay?
But not all governments actually do that.
But
That's what
all
you're
governments
suggesting.
have a different take on how they see to be the interests of the
Why
people.
is that? What is the distinguishing factor? Why do some leaders appreciate more the need to take to do things for the broad welfare of the broad masses, and others, as you suggest, appear not to?
Because some take social inequality, as a challenge, political inequality and ignorance as a challenge to solve. Some take the view that the poor would always be with us. Some take the view that all fingers are not equal. And some take the view, that really, that's the way it is.
So the latter are not visionaries.
Well,
Because they take the view.
they may have a vision, but it's not the vision that will confront the problems that I'm describing. Their vision, whatever it is a vision